Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mirror podcast. I'm your host, Kyle David. Today, I want to talk about listening. Listening. I think it's a skill that most of us lack, true listening, and is incredibly important, and I've benefited from a lot recently. So let's talk about it. First off, my shirt says, "We refuse to be anonymous." That is in reference to Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. As a recovering addict, we are not anonymous. If you choose to be anonymous, that's your call. I refuse to be anonymous. There are too many people struggling to just be an anonymous, secretive group. Yeah, that being said, cheers. All right, listening. What do I want to talk about? Let's define listening, because everybody's like, oh yeah, listen, I listen to everybody. I listen to this, I listen to that. Do you actually listen though? Like, Kitty, I'm busy. Do you actually listen though? Do you even know what listening is? Maybe. Let's first define listening. Listening is making an effort to hear something, paying attention. So listening is not just hearing. Hearing is a whole nother thing. And I think that's where we get caught, is because we hear things, we think we're listening. And hearing and listening are different. Hearing is literally just intaking audio. Kitty, pardon me, stick with me. Okay. Blah. Yeah, hearing, we all hear. If we have working ears, we're hearing. But listening is different. Listening is paying attention. Listening is making an effort, so it takes action on your part to listen. Hearing is passive, right? Like I could plug a podcast in and passively hear it, but maybe not listen to all of it, right? Listening is an act. Hearing is passive. Everybody's hearing if you have working ears. You're hearing things you don't want to hear, right? So you're not listening. When you hear the birds chirp, or when you hear a conversation of the people next to you at a restaurant, it's not because you're listening to them. You're just hearing that. It's just a noise you weren't expecting, you weren't really tuned into, and you just heard it. That's hearing. Listening is when you're actually paying attention and making an effort to hear something. There it is. You can hear something, but when you make an effort to hear something, then you're actually listening, right? Like I have interactions all the time where I can tell people aren't actually listening to me. They're hearing me, but they're checked out. They're thinking of something different. Or what most of us do is they're listening to respond, or they're hearing to respond. They're not listening. They're not paying attention. They kind of get the gist of what I'm going to say. And so now they're thinking about what they're going to say. So now they're just hearing me. They're no longer listening. And I think that's where we get caught and we struggle in America, and as humans is we like to speak. We like to give our rebuttals. We're not good listeners. And again, when I say listening, we're not attentive, like listening, making an effort to listen to what you're saying. And I think we could change the world if we all became better listeners. I think most of the problems we have in America right now, race, politics, what other issues are there? COVID, you know what I'm saying? There's all these issues, right? And the reason we can't resolve any of these issues because we can't listen to each other. It's plain and simple. If you disagree with that, look around you. We can't listen to each other. There are good points on both sides of most arguments. But if you aren't willing to listen, then you're never coming to any resolution, right? If you're not going to listen to what the other side has to say, listen, making an effort to hear what they have to say, there's no resolution, right? And that's kind of where we are in America. That's kind of where we are in the world, is no one's willing to listen to each other, right? Vaccines, perfect. You're either for vaccines or against it. The people that are for vaccines are unwilling to listen to the people that have concerns about the vaccines. And the people that are concerned about the vaccine are unwilling to listen to anybody that already took the vaccine. They're just idiots and you can't even talk to them, right? So that's one example of where if the people who are not for the vaccine or are cautious of the vaccine would listen, pay attention, the people who have took the vaccine and hear their experiences and the things they've gone through, they might have a different perspective. This is not pro or anti-vaccine. This is just an example. They might have a different perspective. Now, they may still think and feel the same way. That's fine. But you may have a different perspective. And at the very least, you helped make someone feel heard and understood, right? And the same with the people who are pro-vaccine. If you would just go listen to some of the people that have concerns about the vaccine, you would probably learn a lot. You would hear things you haven't thought of, probably some more science that you haven't thought of, some numbers you probably haven't thought of, and you might have a different perspective. Again, you might not change where you land on the vaccines, but you might have a different perspective. And again, at the very least, you help somebody feel understood. And I think that's the most important part of this, is the listening of the listening, is how you can give someone a gift by listening to them. What do I mean by give them a gift? Use me as an example. I am a verbal processor. If you know me, I have ideas. I have a lot going on in my head, but I got to process it out. Otherwise, I get depressed. I get anxious. Lots of things happen. So I'm a verbal processor. And I've told my sister who lives with me and my family and certain friends of mine, the best gift you can give me is just to listen to me. Because it makes me feel good when I know someone heard what I had to say and they understood it and they were actually listening. They were paying attention to me. They were making an effort to hear what I had to say. That's the best gift you could give me. So my birthday is in August. You could probably send me some protein because I'm super skinny from my stomach issues. You can send me protein and you could listen to me. If you want to give me birthday gifts, protein, healthy protein, because my stomach can't handle a lot. Healthy protein and listen to me. I'm happy, man. If you can't give me the protein, listen to me. That's all I need. But again, using myself as an example, when people actually listen to me, when I have a conversation or I have an interaction and I have stuff to say and I know that person heard me and made an effort to try to hear me and understand me and listen to me, I feel good. And that person now holds a more special place in my heart. Actually, and that may sound crazy and you may not experience the same thing, but when somebody attentively listens to me and I know they made an effort to hear what I was having to say, whether they agree or not, or whether they even care, but when they care about me enough to just listen and make me feel heard, those are special people in my life. And I could name some of them right now and I won't go down the list, but my dad and my mom, my immediate family being some of those people, and some friends and some people. So anyways, I won't name names, but I already did. Dad, mom. Anyways, there's a special group of people in my life, not just my family, some friends and people I work with that listen to me well. And I know they don't always care what I have to say. That's fine. But they know that it's important to me. And so they listen to me well. And those people are very special to me. And so I say that because I think most of us want to just be heard and listened to. And as I grow older, I realize how important listening is. Not just listening so that you can be a more educated, well-rounded individual. That's a bonus in listening. When you listen to other people, you probably will learn stuff and therefore become a better person or a more well-rounded individual. And when you listen to other people and you pay attention and you try to understand them, you're giving them a gift. And when you become a person that listens well, people will come to you more and more because they want that gift again and again. And you can provide that for people. It doesn't take any special skills, any special talents, tips, tricks, any of that stuff. If you have working ears and a desire to care for people, you can be a good listener and provide people with gifts constantly. I promise you, what the world lacks on a massive scale is people who are willing to listen. Because when you put an effort into a conversation or interaction and really try to listen, that shows that you care. And when you show people you care, they care. If that makes sense. When you show people you care, they care. So you can give people a gift by caring about them. And how do you care about other people? One of the easiest things you can do right now to start caring for the people around you is listen to them. Ask a few questions, sit back, listen. I know this because I've done it, not perfectly, but I try to do it frequently. And the amount of people that will spill their guts to me when I'm looking them in the eye and actively listening, I'm really paying attention. Even if I'm not super interested in it, but I'm super interested in them as a human, as a person. I care about them and I want to give them the gift of listening because I know what it does for me. And so I know that it's helping other people. Most of us just want to be heard, right? People are like, I want to be understood. You probably just want to be heard because no one will be fully understood. That's not, we're all unique individuals. You'll never be fully understood because no one's going to be able to fully get inside your mind. But you can feel heard. And that's what the world lacks right now is people aren't heard. People aren't feeling heard. And what do people do when they're not feeling heard? They lash out. They get angry. They go to social media. What's happening right now in the world? People are lashing out. They're angry. They're going to social media. We can fix a lot of our issues by just listening to each other. Like I would ask yourself right now, if you're listening to this, not if you're hearing this, if you're listening to this, ask yourself, when's the last time somebody listened to you and you felt heard? If it was recently, that's amazing. If it was not recently, I'm not surprised. Sadly. And think about the last time someone really listened to you and you needed to say some things and somebody listened to you and helped you feel heard. They were paying attention to you. How did that make you feel? You probably felt good. I'm assuming that you probably felt good the last time somebody really listened to you. And you want to know why? Because we all need to feel heard. Again, one of the greatest gifts you could give somebody is just pay attention to them. How do you pay attention to people? Listen to them. The definition of listening is paying attention. I just think that we don't do a good job as a collective whole in thinking of ways to care for each other better, right? Being kind to people you interact with. That's a tangible way to make people, to make the world a better place. Listen to people. And here's the thing. It's also selfish when you listen to someone and really pay attention because you care about them. And when that interaction is done and you walk away, you will probably feel good knowing that you are doing something for someone else. When you do things for other people, you feel good about it. So when you're kind to someone, you usually walk away feeling good. When you listen to someone, you usually walk away feeling good. When you smile at someone, you usually walk away feeling good. When you buy people protein on their birthdays, you usually walk away feeling good. I'm just saying. But you get what I'm saying here. When you do things for other people, whether it's listening to them, smiling at them, writing them a note, whatever your thing is, when you do things for other people, you feel good. Life hack. Want to enjoy your life more? Want to feel better about who you are and what you're doing in life? Want just a little boost in your day? Listen to somebody. Be kind to somebody. These are easy life hacks to make yourself have a better life, to make yourself feel better, to lift your own spirits. I'm telling you, these are life hacks, man. I know because I do these things. Again, not perfectly. And I didn't always do these things. So don't put me on a pedestal. I'm just a guy trying to do stuff, trying to be better. When I started actively being kind to people and trying to be kind to people and seeking out opportunities to be kind to people, my life got better. And when especially recently, I've been focused on becoming a better listener, trying to engage people and then listen and not just speak, but listen. My life's gotten better. I'm telling you, being a good person is a straight life hack. Straight life hack. Be a good person. One way to be a good person is to listen to people and make them feel heard and understood. And I'm sorry if this camera's at a weird angle. I didn't really pay attention this whole time. Help people feel heard. Help people feel understood. It's a life hack, man. You'll feel better. They'll feel better. And again, if you know that you like being heard and listened to, then I would assume other people do too. You're probably not the only one. So if it's a gift to you, then give it away, right? If you're receiving something that you're like, that felt good, give it away, right? If someone's nice to you and you're like, man, I really appreciate that person being nice to me. Be nice to somebody else. I'm going to come over the next few weeks a few weeks. I'm just going to come with, maybe I'll call it the life hack series. Life hack number 1, listen to people. I just thought of that right now. I'm glad you guys were a part of this. The life hack series starting today, the life hack series coming to you. The next one will be episode 2 life hack. I'll let you know what that one is when we do it. But this is it. This is the dawn of the life hack series. Simple life hacks to improve your life. Simple tactics to improve your life. What is the tagline? Simple tactics to improve your life on a daily basis. There you go. I don't know if we'll stick with that, but that's what I'm going with right now. The life hack series. Life hack number 1, listen to people. It will improve their life. It will improve your life. I promise. Thank you for listening to me. I feel heard. I feel understood. Thank you for paying attention. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys listening, watching. This podcast means a lot to me, man. And not just because it's something I'm building and I want to be successful. It means a lot to me right now in this moment, because it's an opportunity for me to process out loud and feel heard. So interesting that this life hack podcast on listening, I want to end with just saying I really appreciate anyone that listens to the podcast. And really the podcast for me has become a way of me to feel like people are listening to me and feel like I'm being heard. And it's a place for me to process my thoughts and my ideas. And so, yeah, I'm just really appreciative of everybody that listens to the podcast or you watch. Because for me, it's been a good way of making sure that I feel heard, and that I feel listened to, and that I share things that I think are helpful that I'm learning on the journey. The journey of life, man. It is wild. So anyways, I appreciate you guys listening to me. I'm not going to ever stop this podcast till I die. If I do, hold me accountable. Come talk to me. This podcast is a life play. It's a lifelong play. It's a legacy play. Again, that's why I'm not trying to make money off this podcast. If it comes, it comes. But this is a legacy play for me. This is something I want to show my kids someday. It's something I want my grandkids to listen to someday. So anyways, I'm going to get too weird and emotional, so I'll end it here. Love you guys. I'll be back soon with another episode of Inside the Mirror podcast. Have a great week. Life hack coming soon, number 2. Love you guys. Adios.